Hello, welcome to Platt Outdoors, Alberta. My name is Mark. I'm from Central Alberta. This is my new YouTube channel. Gonna be doing some ice fishing videos this winter. Recently, I was out at Dickson Trout Pond, did an overnighter, my first overnight solo with all my new gear. I had a lot of GoPro issues. Tent was too dark a lighting, I think. Some GoPro settings weren't right. I did manage to salvage some of the underwater camera footage and some sonar footage. Most of the fish I caught was all too dark on the video. I couldn't see inside my tent. My tour of all of my setup was also way too dark. Couldn't make it out. So I cut it all out of my video. I thought I'd do this little talk to start with just to explain what happened to me. And hopefully the next trip I go out in the next week or two, I can make a better video for you guys. But for now, that's kind of all I got. I just thought I'd post it anyways. Maybe it would get some tips on different GoPro settings or different lights maybe I should be using. I didn't have a lot of windows open. That was my mistake. I thought it was plenty bright in there. I was running a set of Otter LED lights on the roof, as well as a set of patio lights, LED from Amazon. They're kind of gazebo lights. It was plenty bright. I was able to tie little tungsten jigs on without any other lights on or anything like that. I thought it had lots of light, but the video shows different, so I had to cut most of the footage out. But I still wanted to show you what I had going on with the live scope that's new to me this year. Figured I'd still get something out anyways. This is my very first video also. So Happy New Year to everybody, and stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoy the footage. Thanks. Hello, welcome to Platt Outdoors, Alberta. This is my very first video, also my first overnight in my new tent that I got here. I wanted to do it outside and show you what I had outside, but it's overcast, raining, snowing, kind of not very nice out, so I've been hunkered down, getting things set up in here. Been fishing for a few hours, having some GoPro troubles, so don't know if I got it figured out or not, but we're going to give it a whirl. So I'm fishing in a Otter Monster Lodge this year. It's new this year with the new full door. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Got my coveralls hanging there, but some electronics, a new Panoptics Plus. Looks a little fuzzy on camera, but it's not on the screen. It's working quite well. I'm still playing with it. First time out with it also, so I've got my EcoMap 7 playing with it. I've had it for a few years, so I'm used to it, so I'm just trying to get things adjusted on the LiveScope Plus, the LVS 34. It's a 106 monitor on that one. Seems to be working okay so far. I'm still playing with settings, trying to figure it all out, but I've caught 2 fish on it so far. It seems to be working. Kind of the rest of my setup. Big buddy heater in the front. I got one in the back. My cot, of course. My chair. Running a Jackery 1000 for charging and powering. I got some Amazon lights that I picked up, and then I've got one set of Otter LED lights on the roof also in my fishing area, along with a fan at both ends for sleeping. I'll probably turn those on. Propane oven. Got an indoor-outdoor thermometer set up, so right now I'm reading 25 degrees in the tent. It's +1 outside. A pair of carbon monoxide detectors with readouts, which everybody should have if they're trying this overnight stuff. Those were new this year. They're the batteryless ones that run for 10 years, they claim, so we'll put those to the test and see how that works out. But other than that, my cot's all set up. I got my organizer on there. Still a mess in here. Trying to get everything set up for the very first time. But so far, so good. Like I said, I got 2 fish on the ice. I haven't got them on video. I was having GoPro troubles, and I think I got some recording going on now, so hopefully we'll get some fish on camera for you guys. So we'll stay tuned and see what I can come up with here for you. Thanks. Well, good morning. Made her through the first night. Got up about 6 this morning. It's now about 6:45. I had to pull my fishing rods last night. I kept getting muskrats coming up my holes. So I pulled my lines and covered them for the night, and I could hear them splashing there a few times throughout the night, but other than that, it was a pretty good night. I've been marking a few fish here this morning, had a few bites, but haven't got one yet. I did have an incident with carbon monoxide last night. Just to let everybody know, my one heater, I'll show you the good heater first, and then we'll go to the back heater that was giving me trouble. I think he was the culprit, but I'll turn you around and show you what was going on. So hopefully you guys can see this heater. This is my good heater. My old heater, I guess you'd call it. Big buddy with the fan. I was running it on low, and it's on low right now. Burning nice and clean. It worked well. This one, running on low last night. It's also a big buddy without the fan. It started flickering. Not sure what really to call it. It was blue flames flickering off the grate there, that white grate that's burning. Started noticing the carbon monoxide detectors climbing. They were one sitting by this heater. I had one sitting down by the other one. They're both reading 0 this morning. It was about 10:30 last night. They had climbed up to just over 30 parts per million on each of them. I suspected it was this back here that was doing all the flickering, so I shut it down for the night. I ran the other big buddy on medium for the night. It kept the tent about 12 degrees last night. And it was -10 when I got up. I see it's -9 now, 16 in here with both of them running on low for a bit here. I was just trying to see if this one would do it again to me. Trying to figure it out, but I do have a window cracked open up here and at the other end this morning, which I didn't have last night. I did have my both air vents open last night when the carbon monoxide did start climbing, but I don't know, maybe just need more ventilation. But the way that heater was flickering, I'm kind of thinking that that was my issue, but I'm not sure. It was too dark and too late to bother playing around. I just shut it down for the night and tried to hunker down, get some sleep, which I did, so that was good. And I'm just up having my coffee now, got my fishing lines down, waiting on Buddy's going to come out fishing with me here this morning. Matt from My Day Off, if you guys are familiar with him, which I'm sure a lot of you are. He's going to come out too, so looking forward to a good day fishing with him. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll keep the camera on. If we catch some fish, we'll show you. We're getting some marks right now. Marking fish on this one. See if we can't get him to come back. I got a little glow tungsten down there tipped with raw shrimp this morning on both. So far I've only had bites on the one. I haven't got the live scope going yet this morning. Still just getting things organized, but when I do, I'll show you what's got going on. I'm back down here at the underwater camera. All them little minnows came back in here. I have no idea what they are. Haven't got one close enough to see, but I don't think they're trout, but maybe. There's quite a few of them zooming around. Maybe there's two different species, because one seemed to go really slow and the other one seemed to be pretty speedy and darty, but might be all the same fish, I don't know. Can't seem to catch one, so you can see them on the live scope there. They're still playing around. There's a trout down there right now. See if we can maybe coax him over. So this is kind of where them small little guys are on the camera, in between my two baits, but they haven't been nibbling on anything I've tried. I put down a small little 3mm tungsten jig, or 3.5, whatever, and they weren't interested in that neither. I couldn't get them to nibble, but I was hoping to catch one and see what they were, but so far not. Here comes a fish zooming in. Look at him come in. He's on my other line. Now he's coming for me now. See if we can't get him. I think he went around the rock pile on me. There he comes back. He touched me, but see if we can get him to come back around again. You can see him on the 7-inch screen there, those marks, that's him. The line I'm jigging right now, that transducer's down the same hole, so the live scope's down a different hole, but it's got, of course, way wider field of view, so I can watch both my lines with it. I'm kind of set up on a rock pile here, and then a fairly steep drop off, as you guys can see, but it's been working not too bad. Matt's set up kind of in the similar. I think he's more up in the little flat area, maybe. There, we got one. Fish on, guys. Oh, he got off. You can see the mark there on the 7-inch. He looked fairly decent. We'll drop back down quick. So nice with this Black Betty. You can just finger tap the trigger and back down you go, and here he comes back. There he is. Swam right on by me that time. See if we can get him to come back. He's just out the back of my field of view right now, but you can see I've got a barrel swivel and snap above me with about 12 inches of fluorocarbon leader. Kind of cheating to start with here. Instead of tying on every time, I tied the barrel swivels on with a snap just to make it quick to change hooks here to see if they would be interested in something more than something else, but so far they haven't. And there he's back on me. Circled again. He's not liking what I'm doing, or liking what I'm giving him, I guess. Hopefully you guys can see all this, but keep playing here and see if he'll come back. They seem to come in when I'm right down in the weeds there. It's that little growth of weed on the bottom, and they seem like when you're tapping into it and lift up out of it, they seem to come in. So try it, but he might have taken off on us. You can still see those little guys in the center there. If the camera's clear enough for you, hopefully it is, but they're still swarming around in the little bit of weeds there. We can go back over to the camera and see if we can still see them there. We should be able to. So there, guys, I'm trying to get a little footage on the underwater camera. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it. My lighting's not good probably, and the screen's pretty green. No light outside, but I was seeing on my live scope, these little minnows are up on the side where I'm jigging and fishing over there, and I keep seeing them come through. So I turned the camera here to see if I could get them on camera to see what they were, and I'm not sure. They look like maybe a little sucker. I'll see if we can't get one a little closer here. There's still a couple swimming there. They're kind of out in the background there. Over on the live scope I can see them, but they're awfully tiny and they're right in the weeds. I don't think they're trout, unless they're just tiny little trout maybe. There, you can see a bunch more here now if you guys can actually see the screen. I don't know if I turn my lights down or up if it'll help us, but I'll try it. Doesn't seem to be making much difference to me. Maybe better with it off. Maybe there's enough light down there now. They're still swimming around there. I'll take you over to the live scope and you can see them on there also, just for comparison of what they look like. So here we can see them, this little school right here. I got bait sitting here and a bait sitting there. That little school of whatever those little minnows are is kind of right in between my two lines here. On the camera we can see them, but they're tiny, and they're definitely not interested in anything I'm jigging down there. I got two little tungstens on. with glow tungstens with glow plastic, and I tipped them with raw shrimp. Seems to be working for me. I got some other baits too. I tried yesterday, but they weren't committing to much else other than raw shrimp, it seemed like to me yesterday, so I just kind of continued on for today. For now anyways. You can still see that little school little dead guy's kind of right in between me. I'll take you back to the cat underwater and see if we can see him on there for you. Hopefully it'll focus for you. I know the screen's really green. Still snowing out and overcast, so there's not much light outside, so it's not helping, but we're doing what we can do. Yeah, so there's one right in the center of the screen. I know the camera's not the best. It's not high def like some guys have, but it's all I got, so I don't use it a whole lot. I use it more for scouting bottom and looking for structure, and then I rely on my electronics to see what's down there. But that new live scope seems to be quite a game changer in my mind. I know they're a lot of money. If you're in the budget for one and looking for one though, I would definitely recommend it. I don't know how much I'll use my 7-inch anymore, other than using it when I first come onto lakes, new lakes especially. I've got Canada lake maps on it, so it's kind of nice to be able to do some scouting beforehand and find some structure before you even get to the lake and kind of know the area I want to go. And then of course it has all my marks on it for fishing, so I'll be using it in the truck coming out fishing probably, and then using the live scope once I'm set up kind of thing. But the 7-inch is definitely very good, very quick, very easy to drill a couple of holes and find your drop-offs or find your structure that you're looking for before committing to setting up a tent and stuff like I'm running here. It's a bit of work. The floor is a little bit of work, but I'm enjoying it. It's working good. This is the first trip out with it all, so still learning. I'm hoping I can ditch some of this stuff because my truck was right full on the way out. A lot of work's loading it and organizing it, and then of course getting out here. So I'm not sure if you guys are seeing all these or not, but there's still lots of them down there. The odd one looks like a trout to me, but some of them don't, so I'm not sure. Maybe somebody, if the footage is good enough, if I end up posting this video, hopefully maybe somebody will know what's in here. But for now, I guess stay tuned and we'll get back to fishing. And we got some fish coming in now, guys. Got one maybe coming in on both here. See what we can do. Hopefully you guys can see the screen. See the fish playing back and forth here. School just came in. See if we can't get one. Missed him. It's coming back. Still tapping me, just a little guy. Take him down in the dirt here. There, he followed it down. Missed him. They're still all over me here. Lift up, there they come back. One tapping me. Got that one. Fish on, guys. Fish on. See what we can get here. Look like a little guy on the graph, but we'll see. He's pulling. Oh no, he's not too bad. Lively one this morning. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy. Easy. Kind of a different hook set. Got him in the bottom jaw. I have to grab my pliers here. Don't want to hurt him and don't want to wreck my hook. There we go. Oh, and down he goes. He wanted to go back. He was in a hurry. Perfect. Wash up and get that bait back down. Stay tuned for another one, guys. Here we can see a fish playing here, guys. He's on my ling slinger line, my dead stick. And he took off on me. Took too long playing with electronics. See if we can't get him to come back. As you all know, I'm new to this GoPro, so, and these electronics, so trying to figure everything out. It's a little overwhelming maybe, but slowly figuring it out. I need to do some research on some settings on my live scope, try to get it cleaned up a little bit more, but so far I'm very happy with it. It's nice to see the contour of the ground versus my EcoMap 7. There's a fish on there. He just came in. He's on my line. And he's gone. That was the line we were jigging, as you can see. He came in for a sniff anyways. We've got Matt fishing beside me. I don't know if you'll see out the window, but I can open it up. We got Matt sitting over there in his tent from my days off. Good guy. Give him a follow. If you guys don't follow him now, give him a view. He does a lot of ice fishing, a lot of hunting, barbecuing. Does a lot of good videos. Puts a lot of time and effort into it. He's kind of the one that got me inspired to get a GoPro and try videoing, but it's going to take me a while. I'm not used to this stuff, so stay tuned. Maybe we'll have a chat with him when he comes over for a coffee. Alright guys, got most of the camp taken down. The inside's cleaned out. It quit snowing. So I thought I could give you a look at the outside before I take the straps all down the way I tie it down, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Use every tie point you got, in case the wind comes up, of course. Got a little wind last night. Felt pretty safe. There wasn't nothing too much for it. It handled it good. And it was probably only, I don't know, I looked at the weather network and I think they were saying 26 kilometer gust to 28. I have no idea what it was, but it hardly shook the tent at all. Hardly noticeable unless I went outside. Anyways, we'll take a look at the outside. So there's the new full door. Makes this job of packing this big stuff in and out a lot nicer. You're not tripping, but each system does work. Snow shovel. Got some flood water last night when I set up. I had my truck parked over here. I don't know if that's what did it or what, but it might be frozen when I go to take it down. I'm not sure yet, so I thought I better take it down in the daylight. So lots of tie points on an otter. Those corner straps, the hub straps. The corner ones make a big difference in my opinion when you square those corners and pull them tight. Keeps the corners from flapping. So that's basically the outside. Still got a pile of stuff to put in the truck. Inside of the truck's right full. Basically, except for me, inside of the tent is empty. Nothing left. It's the way you want to leave these places, guys. No garbage or nothing left behind. I do bring my own outhouse in case need be. Something to keep in mind on these places. There's nowhere to go. So keep these places nice for everybody to enjoy. There's my holes that I had. Have you guys seen on the other video? So it is a little wet on the floor here underneath my foam tiles. Again, those were 1-inch foam tiles. But to me it looks like the flood water is kind of coming off in this direction. Kind of the way it was coming last night. When I did drill my holes, I ended up drilling them inside. I didn't want to. I've got a gas 2-stroke auger, an old Jiffy. I didn't really have a choice. The wind was gusting. It was freezing rain when I got here. I tried to lay down my tiles to mark up my holes and it just wasn't working. The wind and the rain, and I just gave up and got my tent up and then set up my half my floor, part of my floor there, and drilled these holes and then finished setting up. Wasn't ideal. It did end up with a lot of little thicker snow and slush around my holes, so I could feel it when walking in here that I knew it was low in front of my cot. But that's also where one of those fans was blowing down all night, so maybe that's what melted a little more into my foam pads, my floor panels. But No, not really, because there's water sitting there. Looks like my tent's high and dry on the snow still though, so shouldn't be an issue to get it out. But I got, what do I got, 14 anchors. If you use them all, I bought an extra set, used my cordless drill of course with an adapter. So that job's pretty simple. So I'm going to take that down and fold her up, get her back in the bag. It'll be my first time putting it back in the bag when it's cold and frozen. So as most things go back in the bag, not very well, but I've done it a couple times at home, dry runs, and it seems like the bag is big enough. But we'll see now that things are froze up a bit. Give it a better test, and we'll talk at you guys later. Hopefully I can get this posted sometime this week. I have to learn all that stuff too, the editing part of it, so it's a big learning curve for me this year. I'm hoping it's not going to take away from my fishing, spending too much time making the videos, or maybe it won't be for me, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping to get one out and see how it goes, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next trip.